Hey YouTube, it's Weird Paul. Today I am back answering subscriber questions. And if I don't get to yours today, keep watching because I'll get to it soon. Stephanie Benesh asked what are the 3 songs that I've recorded that are my favorites. Well, first I'd pick Sucking Chest Wound, which I recorded in 1990, and it was my first vinyl record. Second I'd pick I Got Drunk at Chuck E. Cheese, which I recorded back in 2001. And third, I'd pick the more recent Peanut Butter Recall, which I recorded in 2013. Shane Hickey asked if I've ever met Joe Jack Talcum from the band The Dead Milkmen, and if I'd ever do an album with him. I met Joe Jack Talcum in 2007. I opened for him during a few solo shows he did here in Pittsburgh over the years. In 2013, he asked me to open for the Dead Milkmen's triumphant return to Pittsburgh. And I got the whole band to sign their album. I like the idea of doing an album with Joe Jack Talcum. I like the idea of doing an album with lots of people. But Prowler asked if I'm going to make another album anytime soon. My last solo album, Still Going Strong, came out in 2013. I managed to do a couple other albums with other projects in 2014 and 2015. But I haven't had time to work on another Weird Paul album. I put most of my free time into my YouTube channel. I may have to just take a couple weeks off soon so I can at least start on a new album. Richard Magnelli, hi Rich, asked how I first met the elusive Manny Thiner. For those who don't know, Manny Thiner is a legendary concert promoter in Pittsburgh, and he also was my drummer between 1989 and 1991. Back in the summer of 1988, I sent my second cassette album, I Need a Pencil Sharpener, to the college radio station WRCT in Pittsburgh. Not long afterwards, I heard a DJ play it on the air. That DJ was Manny Thiner.
And right now we're going to hear from a new local guy. His name is Paul Off the Wall Petrosky, and he sent us a tape about a week ago. It's called I Need a Pencil Sharpener. We're going to hear a couple tunes. This is the latest local release, I think, that we have, right?
He contacted me and booked me to play my first real concert, opening for the bands Happy Flowers and Scrawl. Unfortunately, that show never happened. It was canceled because the club didn't have the necessary permits to operate. Richard Magnelli also asked what was the first touring band that I ever opened for. Well, after that other show was canceled, Manny booked me to open for the band Beat Happening instead. That show did happen, and I still have my whole performance on tape. I remember after playing that Calvin Johnson, the lead singer of Beat Happening, told me to watch out because rock and roll could be a harsh mistress. Klopp Tavia asked if there will ever be a Weird Paul songbook with chords for my awesome music. That would be pretty cool. Maybe someday. I'd like to have all kinds of things like Weird Paul keychains, maybe a sun shield that makes it look like I'm sitting in your car. Maybe even a Weird Paul coloring book. That is actually currently in the works. CatLord11 asked if I have any new guitars that I can show. I don't have any new guitars. I do have a lot of footage of me trying to play classic rock songs in the mid-'80s though. I'll probably upload some of that soon. Bob Jones asked what is my dream guitar. I don't really have a dream guitar, but one that stays in tune would be nice. Klopp Tavia asked how I learned to play the guitar so well. I've never taken any guitar lessons. I learned to play guitar by playing along to records. I used to play along to the first Ramones album every day. The interesting thing about this album is that if you turn the speaker balance to the left, all you hear is bass, drums, and vocals. No guitar. You can play along and pretend you're in the band. David Devoid asked what my instrument would be if guitars weren't invented. I'll go with keyboards. Garrison Newkirk asked if I have plans to put a lot of my albums out on vinyl in the future. I don't have any plans because it would probably cost a lot of money. But this summer, my song Peanut Butter Recall will be released on a 7-inch vinyl record. It's going to be a very limited edition, so if you want one, make sure you order it right away when I announce it's available. Parking Club asked what the story is behind my song I Found a Fatso in St. Clairsville. Alright, you asked. Back in 2010, I was doing some shows in Ohio, and on the way back home, I stopped at the mall in St. Clairsville. While I was there, I found the DVD of a movie that I was looking for.
I found a fatso in St. Clairsville.
A.J. Smith asked about the meaning of my song, You Can Own Your Own Home Without Even Breaking My Heart. One night, back in 1989, I was playing my chord organ, and my little brother walked in. He said to me, "You can own your own home without even breaking my heart." I said, "What's that?" He said, "It's a song by Daniel Johnston." Of course, it isn't a song by Daniel Johnston, but I decided to write it and make it sound like one. The lyrics mostly came out of notebooks like this that I had filled with unused ideas. I could say that the song has some deep meaning, but I'd be lying. A.J. Smith also asked why the song Elvis has been omitted from the Bandcamp version of my 1989 album Now I Blow My ABCs, which has one song for each letter of the alphabet. The reason is, it's a parody of the song Jailhouse Rock, and I don't have the rights to the music. Bruno2M asked if I do any prep before my live performances, like a vocal warm-up. I've never done anything like that, but I think I'm going to start. I'm going to have to keep my voice in shape. Hank Jennings asked if I've ever done a show in Wisconsin. I played live in Milwaukee back in 1991, 25 years ago. This was the concert flyer. Heather Heaton asked if I ever do shows now outside of Pennsylvania, and Jonas Oster asked if I'd ever come to Canada if my band gets popular enough. I'd love to tour everywhere in the world, but there has to be a bigger demand to see me first. However, I am playing in some other places this summer, so if any of these places are near you, check below in the description for venue information. I will try to get to more cities as soon as I can. I hope that you enjoyed watching part 6 of my question and answer series. If you did, don't forget to click on the like button down below. Thanks, YouTube.